Being a baseball play-by-play broadcaster demands a blend of learned mechanics, intense preparation, and a calm sense of entertainment. How hard is it to do this job? Let's talk to the ones who do it. This is Matt Spiegel. My new podcast, The PBP, Voices of Baseball, will bring those conversations to you as the best working and former broadcasters tell you why and how they do it. New episodes come every Thursday all summer long. Follow The PBP, Voices of Baseball, on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Shaw Brock and Caster. Okay, I'm coming into this blind. Victor Wembanyama and Britney Spears are involved in some sort of story that I don't know what it is. I haven't looked. Tommy's going to inform me, and we'll see if this is a great July 7th story or if this is a July 7th story. Here we go.
It's a wonderful July 7th story. I'm so excited to share this with you for the first time. This took place Wednesday night in Las Vegas near a restaurant at the Aria Hotel and Casino. Victor Wembanyama said that he believes that Britney Spears grabbed him from behind as he was walking into that restaurant and that the security detail he was with pushed the pop star away. Wembanyama said that he wasn't told that Spears was the person who grabbed him until hours later. Britney Spears filed a police report. She claimed that she was struck by a security guard while she was trying to get Wembanyama's attention. Spears said that she basically just wanted to get a picture with Victor Wembanyama. All she did, according to her, was that she simply tapped him on the shoulder and that his security, quote, backhanded me in the face without looking back in front of a crowd, nearly knocking me down and causing my glasses to fly off my face. So a little bit of an altercation. I never thought I would say those words between Victor Wembanyama and Britney Spears in Las Vegas.
Grabbed him from behind or grabbed his behind?
Grabbed him from behind is what Wembanyama said. Yeah.
Okay.
She said all that she did was tap him on the shoulder.
I don't know etiquette with security details. I know that it's probably not great, idea to run and grab somebody that has a security detail or even touch them, quite frankly. Yeah. They have paid these people to make sure that nobody touches them. It sounds like this is probably this seems like a little bit of a non-story. It's interesting, obviously, because it's Britney Spears. I don't know. What is the, what's going to be the outcome here? Is she looking for
she did file a police report. She's looking for an apology. So she said that in her statement, she said, I have yet to get a public apology from the player, his security, or their organization. I hope they will. She goes on to say that she gets swarmed by people all the time, but that her security team doesn't hit any of them, and that she urged people in the public eye to set an example and treat all people with respect.
Yeah, I probably don't have any issue with any of that. I don't know. He's 19. He hasn't had to have a security detail for a little while. This is a new experience for him. It's become more of a question for a security team than him. Joe on YouTube brings up a really good point. How does Britney reach his shoulder just to tap on it? And listen, the laws of physics, that is a good point, Joe. I don't know that is possible. And so that makes me believe maybe it was more than a shoulder tap here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I could reach Victor Wembanyama's shoulder easily. I would need a step stool. Guy's 7 foot, 3, 4?
5.
Yeah. And Britney Spears is probably not
maybe
6
5
foot
tall.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is a great point. Joe brings it to the conversation.
Did you ever watch, this makes me think about, you ever watch the Seinfeld episode with the Keith Hernandez? We're reconstructing, we're reconstructing this entire event and figuring out, can Britney Spears actually even touch Wembanyama's shoulder?
But what is etiquette for security, right? Is security allowed to just, in her words, backhand, which if she's misremembering a shoulder touch versus a grab from behind, maybe she's misremembering a backhand. There's cameras everywhere in Vegas, by the way. I'm sure that you could probably figure this all out pretty quick. And if she filed a police report, police will. But like, what is etiquette for security? Because they're being paid to make sure literally that nobody touches him.
Right.
And if somebody, they didn't know it was Britney Spears. Like, and that's not her point. I think her point is to, not overreact and backhand people. But like, if I'm paying somebody to take care of me and protect me, if you come out and you make a big deal out of this, if you're Victor Wembanyama, then like that's sort of like a knock to your security, right? Like, I get it. Like, you got to be, I don't know what the appropriate response is here. Yeah, you know what? They were doing their job. Maybe don't grab me from behind. I'm sorry if anybody gets backhanded in the face, but they kind of did what they were supposed to do there. If I'm paying security and somebody's grabbing at me, yeah, I want them to make sure that doesn't happen.
So Wembanyama claims that he and his security detail did not realize that it was Britney Spears at the time.
Who cares?
They just thought it was like a fan, or whatever, trying to grab him. Just a person. And then also the Las Vegas Police Department did issue a statement saying that officers responded to a battery investigation at the Aria. They didn't specify any individual names. The statement said that no arrest or citations have been issued and no further details will be provided at this time. I can't imagine that anything will happen one way or another, but I know that I know Britney is looking for an apology. It'll be interesting to see if she actually gets one.
Is Britney Spears at the point of her career that this is a good attention grab, or is she still at that elite, celebrity status where she doesn't need something like this?
I mean, she's at the point in her career where she's got a residency in Vegas, right? Like, so you kind
does?
of,
that's why she's there.
She's had,
Wow.
I'm guessing she still does. She's had in the past a residency there. And so,
yeah, so I don't
think
it's not
about,
like, I don't think
think about
she
when
needs
artists
this.
do a residency in Vegas. Typically they're on the downward slide of their career.
Oh, not always. I
Right?
saw Gaga in Vegas right after that movie. She was like at the peak of her career, maybe.
Well, but it's, I mean, like Wayne Newton has a residency in Vegas, right? I mean, David
that's because they
Copperfield
pay
has a
you
residency
so
in
much
Vegas.
money to just hang out and do the same show every night. Like, it's like guaranteed tour money. Either way, I don't think Britney Spears needs this. I don't know that we've had many like pop star celebrities bigger than Britney Spears. Like, she's in that Madonna stratosphere, right? Like, maybe even bigger for sometimes all the wrong reasons. So I don't think this is necessarily some attention grab. I'll tell you this. I'm impressed that she's enough of a sports fan to know who Victor Wembanyama is and why he's important. I'm impressed by that. I'm impressed by Wembanyama. I think his security staff for making sure nobody gets to him, because that's what they're supposed to be doing. And, I think this is probably a great July 7th story that nobody ever saw coming. And, Victor Wembanyama and Britney Spears walk into a bar kind of a thing like that you never see
It's like a game
coming.
of Mad Libs. Like, you would never put Wembanyama and Britney Spears together.
Yeah, I can get on board with this story. Is very interesting. Where it goes from here, if they're smart, they'll both use it to their advantage. And, like, she'll collaborate with him on some song or something. That's what they should do. If you're really going to take advantage of the situation, make some music video with Wemby and Britney Spears and whatever. Boy, you talk about elevating to superstar status right away. Here's a celebrity story for you. I don't get much at, like, celebrities. I don't really care. Like, I've always said, like, I'm not an autograph guy. I'm not a. If I had like the celebrity moment, it's to actually have a conversation with somebody that maybe you just happen to run into at a bar or something, and you're like bellied up next to somebody, whatever it is. Other than that, I'd rather avoid the whole situation to begin with. So we're in New York City. This would have been in probably like 2009 or so. We're out in front. I'm in New York City on a school like conference trip. And because I am a wonderful son, I invited my mom recreationally to come and like hang out outside of all the, I was like, come to New York City. You've never been. It'll be super fun. And so she did. And it was a blast. It was so much fun. In that experience, one, my mom in New York City is an experience on the subway, at illegal merchandise shops. It was a whole thing, and it was really pretty funny, actually. But anyway, so we're sitting there, we're walking down the street, we're in front of, I think it was Trump Tower, and in walking out or down that sidewalk. I don't know what part of the city that is or anything. Just remember that's where we were. And all of a sudden, we see Pat Sajak. And so I kind of learned the alphabet from Wheel of Fortune or something, whatever it was when I was a kid. And of course, I was a smart kid. I was young when I learned it, and my mom needed to let Pat Sajak know that Wheel of Fortune is the reason that, I was really good at the alphabet at a very young age. So you don't know my mom, but, she doesn't really abide by societal norms. So she goes up to Pat, and she's like, "Hey, Pat, I got to tell you this story." And he's clearly like anybody would be like, whoa, lady, back up a little bit, whatever. And so he's trying to smile and be nice and get in his cab to get the hell out of there. And so my mom follows him into the cab.
Oh,
gets in the back seat with him, proceeds to tell him that story that she was going to tell him. You're going to hear this story, and then gets out like they're best friends forever. And, for her, it's like, I met Pat Sajak. He was so sweet. And for him, it's like, oh, my God, I just, my life was on the line there. And it was just, this great, that's always my favorite, celebrity sighting moment. It was when my mom jumped into the back of a cab with Pat Sajak, uninvited, to tell him the story about how he helped me learn my alphabet.
I love that. I've got one, too. Several years ago, there's a band. I don't know if you're familiar with them or if really anybody is, but there's a band by the name of Magic. With an exclamation mark at the end, and they were a one-hit wonder. They had the song called "Rude." Why you gotta be so rude? Regardless, that was kind of their big song.
I like that song.
And so I was invited to go to a private show to see them in Chicago at House of Blues. And so I flew to Chicago, watched them at House of Blues, and then there was a meet and greet mingling deal with them at a bar right outside of House of Blues after the show. So I am talking with the band. I had ordered a beer, and the waitress proceeds to bring me my beer as I'm talking with the band. And we're kind of in a circle. So it's me and then the three guys from the band around me, and we're chatting. She hands me my beer. I take a drink in the middle of my sentence, and it goes down the wrong way. And I end up coughing and spitting beer all over the band. And I'm incredibly apologetic about it. They were not accepting of my apology whatsoever. And the conversation went really south. They were looking for their management, looking for towels to wipe off the beer and my spit from their face. I don't blame them. I probably would have been the same way. And I was mortified, and I got the hell out of there as quickly as I could.
It's probably what, spun their careers down the wrong path.
Probably, yeah. I would have thought okay, maybe one of them would have been like, "Hey, it's okay. It was an accident. It happens." No, they were all like, "What are you doing? What'd you do?" And I'm really sorry, guys. That was an accident. I took my drink too quick, and I started to choke, and I coughed all over you, and I apologize.
I'm going to have a look. Okay, I'm trying to. So you said it's Magic with an exclamation point?
Correct. Yes.
That is not a good thing to Google because it brings up all kinds of things. Let's have a look at. Let's have a look. Yeah, I can't even find them. That's not a good sign. When I type in,
so according to Wikipedia, they are a Canadian reggae fusion band. If that tells you anything about them, but they were one hit wonder. I
remember that song.
Yeah,
but I can't.
It was a number one song for a while.
Yeah, I can't find, I literally cannot find a picture of them.
I've always wanted to,
here we go.
Genuinely apologize to them. So
take the opportunity now as I get a look and see if, look, I don't like to stereotype, but that strikes me as a group of people who wouldn't be okay with getting beer spit all over them, that might take themselves a little more seriously than to be okay with that. Yeah, okay. Well, listen. Whether you had something to do with them being a one-hit wonder and not a rock and roll Hall of Fame band, we can only speculate. But I would say yes, you probably did.
Yeah, if they ever go on VH1, the top one-hit wonders of all time, I would like to be interviewed for that and tell my side of the story as to why I believe they are one-hit wonders now.
One of those behind the music things.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what it was? Behind the music.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been trying to watch the version of that for pro wrestling, Dark Side of the Ring or something like that. Man, rock star or pro wrestler? Like, what's harder on the body? Which lifestyle is more, difficult to come out of and be good at?
It's got to be pro wrestling, right? I mean, because it's the
of the
lifestyle
physical toll.
and it's the physical toll. Yeah.
Yeah. Those dudes partied, man. Like, did you ever watch the Ric Flair 30 for 30?
Absolutely.
Where he talks
Remember
about
when he
Hutchinson?
talked about Hutchinson? Yeah, about how there's nothing to do, and that, I watched that for sure.
I love that. Terry Funk is a family friend and an idol and all of these things. Like, we're close with that family, and he and Flair ran at the same time, and it's just like, man, like I think about that now, and I'm creeping up on 40, and to know that some of those guys have been able to do that for as long as they did, and like how long it takes me to recover from like a night of partying now, and I'm just like, how do you maintain that stamina?
And I'm at the point now, if I stand up out of a chair the wrong way, I can't move for a couple of days. So I can't imagine. Busy. Yeah, for sure. And, what's crazy now is you've got a guy like Ric Flair, who's like a hip hop icon at like the age of 70 something.
He's an
like
everything icon.
It's crazy.
He lived a hard life. I don't want to like incorrectly idolize, the lifestyle he's lived, but the character he played and sort of is in reality. It just is fantastic stuff, like it is it's pretty cool. Anyway, that was a weird left turn. Victor Wembanyama, Britney Spears, mark that off your bingo card. Didn't see that coming. Yeah, maybe I expected a little bit more out of that story, but that's a pretty good story. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Is there any chance in the world DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Chiefs? Apparently, it's still on the table. We'll explore that as we make our way through this weekend edition of Sports Daily.